Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to Dating My Budget. My name is Nita and I'm on a journey to becoming a financial warrior. That means staying in a fight to stay debt free, giving myself financial options with the help of zero-based budgeting, the cash envelope system, and savings challenges. Well, today we are unstuffing the 100 envelope challenge that I keep in this makeup case organizer situation here. I am so excited, you guys. It's been a long year, but it's been a peaceful year. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have y'all here. So let's get into it. This year, I decided that I'm going to make this challenge work for me and not work me. I created this little tracker and I didn't deal with any ones. So the lowest number is 5, and then the highest number is 100. So throughout the year, every paycheck, every side hustle savings challenge video, I stuffed at least 105. My magic months, I gave it more money. Just wanted to recap that. So I went through, color coordinated the envelopes so I can unstuff them color by color. And this challenge, I know what we should have, and I'm not going to reveal the number just yet. We'll save the number right before we count. So this challenge is going to go to my 3 to 6 months emergency fund. And yeah, I'll leave it this way. So I definitely wanted to get that going. I'm not really following Dave Ramsey's baby steps, but I guess if I was on a baby step, you let me know. But I feel like kind of my approach kind of falls in line with the baby steps. Last year I saved $1,000, and for me that wasn't to start my emergency fund. This starts my emergency fund. But it started my rainy day challenge, and I knew I didn't want that to just stay at $1,000. So this year I was able to get it up to $2,275. So I have that, and to me, my 3 to 6 months emergency fund is only to be used in case of job loss. Like if something happens to the car or home, I prefer to have, funds specifically for that. So I'm kind of tackling my goals a little bit at a time. This 3 to 6 months covers the basics of the bills that I'm responsible for, not the entire household. If I wanted it to cover the entire household, this probably would be 2 months, maybe not even. So, all right. So this lavender color is done, and I think I'm just put it back here in the back. So I wanted to mention to you guys my words and phrases of 2024. And I have 2 words. One is habitual, and the other is emergent or emergence. Like I feel like I'm in a state of emergence. Like one thing I realized, like after finishing this challenge, like it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't stressful. And although I was intimidated in the beginning, I feel like I rose above that. I feel like I'm in just a state of rising and overcoming and becoming, my next level or my next version of me. So I feel like I want to do like a 5K. Really, I want to do a 10,000 challenge, but I had to pause that because I feel like it's important for me to get a month ahead in the bills that my boyfriend covers. That'll make me feel more secure. So I'm focusing on that 2024. And but basically what I was trying to say is that doing this challenge, I feel empowered to like my minimum goal, should be 5,000 to save in any one challenge, because I proved to myself that it's doable. And it felt like a giant, but I overcame. I'm good. So I don't know, I'm still toying around with what challenges I want to do, but it's something I'm keeping in my back pocket. The next thing I wanted to say was my phrase is clarity breeds confidence. In so many instances in life where I know you guys can relate to where somebody told you to do this or don't do that, but they don't explain why, or the consequences, or why they want you to avoid this, or why they want you to do it this specific way or something. And it's like, okay, well, and then you ask them to elaborate about it, and there's little to no evidence. Like, when a person does that, okay, you know what? Let me give you an example. One of my first jobs, the trainer would say, "Oh yeah, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that," and he asked to hold any questions, just write them down, and he'll have a question and answer session the last hour of training. So for me, I'm frustrated because it's like, you keep saying that, but this is the fact that you're bringing it up. That's the time to explain about it, so that it eliminates some questions, because it's already went over, or whatever. And it's kind of, that's the time to provide clarity. But anyway, that's just me and my process. And just in my mind, the more you know, the more you understand something, the better decision you can make. And I just feel like without clarity, and that type of teaching brings about frustration, anxiety, stress. So for me, just going through and just thinking about things, and sometimes, I'm reminded. My kids are reminders, not in a way in that they do that, but as for me as a parent, to always explain, to provide clarity, so they could be confident in, if people say stranger danger, and it's like, okay, but what else are you providing with that? Oh, just, tell somebody, they need more than that, because situations always aren't simple. So, and they it probably was a terrible example of a phrase, but just, I know that as a parent, a lot of people, at least mention the whole stranger danger situation. And for me, I just can't, it wouldn't make sense to just say that and like, oh, yep, I done my job. No, that was just the beginning. What else? In so many situations, like in the stores, you see kids running around, like that's a stranger danger moment. You running around, parent can't see you, and now, anyway, don't want to get too lost into that. I mentioned earlier that I'm the firstborn, And for me, it's the high priority for me to be responsible and a protector, you know. So I did grow up in a single parent home. So my mom paid all the bills. As kids, we didn't want much for the basics. You know, we didn't experience lights out, no food, no phone. Like, we didn't have that experience. So, you know, kudos to her. She made sure everything was covered. So for me, naturally, to see that and not experience that, I don't have any personal experiences, that type of struggle. But, you know, of course, I know it exists, and everybody is not fortunate to say that they did not go through that situation. But I was naturally interested in the process of paying bills and like the responsibility and, you know, the things that my mom was responsible for. Just, you know, because really when she needed help or wanted help, I was the one that she called all the time, most of the time. So I asked her, like, while she was paying bills, you know, about, you know, writing, I would see her write checks, and she had a lot of bills. And I quickly learned that that was a stressful time for her, you know. And the only thing I got from that interaction was pay your bills on time, pay all of them. So what I do, all the bills I have, I pay them and on time. So, you know, that's a great habit. But, you know, those were teaching moments when, you know, I could have learned that, you know, there'll be times when you can't pay them all on time. And like, what do you do when you can't? Like, what are your options? What do you consider? But, you know, she didn't have an emergency fund. None of those things were there for her. I don't know if she tried. You know, I don't know what her journey was. It was something like you probably shouldn't talk to her right now when she's trying to pay bills or stressed out due to bills. And I just didn't want that for me. You know, it's like so many things in life that stresses us, and if I can minimize my stress, I'm gonna do that. So that's kind of my outlook on life. But that just kind of also made me realize that for the most part, people, they either tell you what to do or what not to do. They don't give you the meat and potatoes of why not or why you should. So, you know, and I think it's just by habit. People get into that. They don't think about others, and, you know, maybe we think different or learn different. And it's very important for a relationship to know the good and the bad, and why I'm saying that this is a rule or why you don't want to do this. So there's clarity in that. So, you know, you do something, somebody gets mad, like, oh, well, you said don't do this. Well, you know, it just removes that out of the way. Tell me, you guys, what is some advice you learned as a kid from your parent? It may have been something, may have been nothing. It's one of the things I remind myself is how we start is not how we end. What if I reminded you that your upbringing is responsible for your attitude towards money or finances? And it's your responsibility to create a new vision for your financial future. What if I reminded you about that? Okay. First, just like with any addiction or any problem, you have to acknowledge. Acknowledging where a behavior or idea started helps you accept that there's an issue. It did not start with you, but it ends with you. You don't have to continue passing a lightless torch to your kids, your marriage, your future. You don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. So stop. Change it. Fix it. Next, or second, what do we do? How do we go about doing this? Well, you can start by making a list of what needs to be improved. Set some goals and create a plan to make some changes. Okay, y'all. Look. Hey. Let me get me a little picture. Okay, so before we start sorting and putting our cash up, I wrote down the denominations. So as we count, I can write it down. And last year, I purchased this. And this year, I created these. And so I'm like, well, which one do I use? And I feel like I want to use this. So we know for sure this is over 5,000. We know that. So we got our placeholder, and we're going to start sorting from what I added up. According to my little envelope sheet, it should be $5,250. $5,000 for sure is going into my 36 months emergency fund. The difference is going to go to we're in the process of upgrading our deep freezer. We want to upright freezer, so we can easily store and find stuff. We don't have to pull everything out of the deep freezer. So we're gonna go half on that. So I'm gonna use the difference to help out with the deep freezer. So let me pull this in view a little bit better. Put that right there. Okay. So all right, so to pick up where I left off, I was saying, make a list of the things that you want to see change or improve. So on one sheet of paper, and I've done this, you guys, so that's the main reason why I'm explaining this. And because it helped, it really did truly helped. But on one sheet of paper, you list your current things that needs to be improved and things that either you want to improve, delete, or replace. And then on the other side, you write your current traits that are in good standing, things that you just may want to upgrade or add to. So, and then as you writing down, the good, the bad, the ugly, you start to see that some of these things that you're doing or repeating, it's not even yours. It's not even yours to repeat. It's like, was handed down to you. So you're just in that cycle of repeating that. And it's like, why? It really serves you no purpose. You don't have to keep doing that. So, those to me were things that was easy to kind of weed out and replace with, some better options or opportunities to aid me on my vision and my goals. So when you write things down and see it in black and white, it's a telling story. Or maybe it's something you picked up along the way from a certain circumstance in your life, and after that event happened, you start, behaving this way or doing that financially, or it just changed your human being. And then some behaviors are just thoughtless, like kind of mentioned that earlier or before, like, you know, just doing, you're in the cycle of just doing, repeating. But those thoughtless behaviors or traits, those were easy for me to like just let me stop doing that. And it, you know, brought the awareness that I'm doing things on repeat that don't even serve me. So them 20s getting thick, so I need to make more space. Oh, and I was going to say that these are just a few things that I've done and do, if not yearly, every couple years, just to keep myself in check. I always, you know what, I got to check me first because I'm responsible for me. And I always want to build upon the person that I am and that I'm becoming, and just keeping myself aware that, you know, maybe I do need to have a check-in session. Oh, what am I doing with this 5? And I wanted to mention that perfection is not the goal. The goal is awareness and progress to allow myself to keep building onto my habits. Like that's it for me. The habits, you create the habits and you have them. It's second nature. You just keep going and feeding the habits, and not the goal. You benefit as you reach your goals. Like the goals is the benefit. So, yes, always keep in my rememberer in my memory is that there's always worse and there's always better. You get to choose along the way. Surround yourself with your goals. So you watch things that help you accommodate you to reach your goals, or, you know, keep you on your goal path, goal oriented. It helps tremendously. And with that being said, you know, be aware of the people you keep around. Sometimes you can spoil people with your presence and your talents, not just money. So if you don't remember anything that I've been chatting about, remember that it's something you're feeding people. And if you provide the table and the food, leave the chairs. Okay? Leave the chairs. You know what? You're gonna find 4 new chairs. But the table, you might, you the table, you the food, take it out, or leave it. Leave it. You got legs. Go. That is some of the things that is always on my mind all the time. And I thought I'd share as I unstuff. Look at that. Look at that. Bam, 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 bam. Oops. I probably should have left it in the tray, but I have an idea. Let me grab my little pen here and my calculator. If you're thinking about doing the 100 envelope challenge, I say do it. Just create a plan as far as your number. Know your number. Knowing your number, whether it's your bills, your monthly bills, it changes things. and it brings a certain awareness, and it just kind of, for me, it keeps me on top of my game. But in this challenge, 105 was my number. 105, I knew that if I stuff at least 105 a week from my paychecks, side hustle, any bonus income, that I would say I'm going to reach my goal by the end of the year. And so you can do it too. If you do it the traditional 1 through 100, your goal can be 101. We'll write it down after we count and add it up at the end. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. For the 50s, we have 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 1,000. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 1850. So 1850 in 20s. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40, 60, 89, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000. And then 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40, 60, 89, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2,000. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20. So 2,120. All right. Now moving on to these tens. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 400, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 490 in tens. And then these fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 200. The final stretch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 90. So 290 in fives. We have 500, 1850, 2120, 490, and 290. Yes. 5, $5,250. Your girl did it. She did it. She did it. So let me put this where it's gonna go. And this is like my long-term, forever and ever, amen, envelopes. So I keep them here in this A5. And for me, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Once you tap into that, you just surviving. So that's what I call my survival fund, 3 to 6 months. So we got 5,000 here, and I'm going to remove the 250, and I'll take 200 and one of these nice 50s I got in here. So this 250 is going to home decor, but I'm not going to mark it on here. I'm just gonna put it behind so it has a place to sit. Next week, more than likely, we're going to get the deep freezer. And so that does it, you guys. 100 envelope challenge complete. $5,250. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. And I will see you in the next video, which should be Savings Challenge stuffing. Bye, guys.